It was chaos the last time we came here, and that's why we're looking forward to it. This is round 7 of the 2013 FF1M season, coming to you from the Monte Carlo Street Circuit in Monaco. Just the two commentators this time, me and Courtney.
Yeah, Whiteley's disappeared, don't know where he is.
I reckon he's secretly seen the race and know the result and thought, nah, I'm not going to bother.
Maybe, yeah.
Who knows?
Or maybe he's in another bar in Monaco somewhere, had a few too many.
A few too many with Kimi. Last race saw Romain Grosjean win his third race of the season for Tornado. Win his third race of his career, actually. It was a good battle between himself and Kimi Räikkönen, had trading positions in each stop. It's a 90-lap race. Interesting. 90
laps?
Yeah, they've increased the race distance to 303.3 kilometres.
Okay.
It's normally like 260, with it being short and twisty.
Yeah.
But this time they've gone for a longer distance.
It's going to be a 2-hour one then, probably.
It's going to be a while, yes. Yeah. 2 or 3 stops expected. Last season was chaos because Bruno Senna won with Pedersen. That was their both last victories.
Kobayashi second, wasn't it, as well?
No, it was De Grassi for... Back then was Sean Connery Motors, and it was Grosjean's first ever podium, actually, in that race.
Right. I thought it was a Pedersen one too. Or was it Pedersen 1-4 or something like that?
Kobayashi crashed out. It could have been a 1-3 or 1-2.
Okay.
But
shows how good my memory is.
Now, for the first time this season, we've got qualifying to watch. Here is Jaime Alguersuari on his hot lap. At the moment, he is... Where is he in the championship? He is 12th in the championship, having only had 1 points finish, which was the 4th in Australia. That attrition run race.
That seems like a long time ago now.
I wonder how they work qualifying here. I wonder if it's... Do they do one shot or whether they get many cars out on circuit at once? Because I'm never actually sure on what they use.
Yeah.
I know in previous seasons they've used like the traditional 1 hour format.
Right. Well, I didn't mind that format. I think the one we've got is good though now.
The knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they tried to change it and make it the elimination, that was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was poor.
Yeah. That just going through that chicane now, which catches out a lot of people, or did so in the last race. Apart from your guys who mysteriously warped through it.
No, it did catch out Räikkönen.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, very early in that race. It caught out Ricciardo. It caught out some others as well. Yeah, Grosjean developed... His chassis was developed so it could take that barrier, no problem.
Yeah.
Here comes Alguersuari.
Extra squishy tyres.
Extra squishy. Here comes Alguersuari with a 1 minute 14.019. I've no idea what pole position was last year, or last season.
No.
Ricciardo's just come through, as has Hülkenberg, who has just gone fastest with a 1:13.5. So there are multiple cars out on circuit. So I think it is the traditional qualifying format of setting fastest laps within a certain distance. Jean-Eric Vergne is the fastest one at the moment with a 13.3. Here comes Perez about to cross the line to set a 1 minute 13.393, so 0.063 off of Vergne's fastest time. Here is Hamilton for the FJR Mugen Honda. Been a wretched season for me, let's be honest.
Yep, not been so #blessed.
No, just 2 points finishes for FJR altogether, and they were 2 fourths in Imola and Nürburgring, both for Hamilton. Gutierrez sits last in the championship. That is dreadful, with his best result being a 12th in Malaysia. Bearing in mind it is his first season of FF1M, he's still actually technically awaiting the results of the final FF1M race where he was in championship contention, but I think AJ just called the race off.
Yeah, who cares about electric cars? That's gonna get some bites.
Yeah, that's triggered a few vegans. Hamilton half a tenth up at the first sector point as he goes through the chicane, neatly hitting all of the apexes there as the marshals watch on through the second sector point, swimming pool, and then the timing beam just here, 0.06 of a second up on Vergne's time, so it's looking good for Hamilton to take provisional pole. Will he take actual pole position? Who knows, but he has had a third on the grid this season already, so he's proven he's still got the speed, even if the car has proved to be terminally unreliable.
Well, pole
Pole
for now.
position at the moment.
You say that it's not been so bad in the last couple of races.
The last race was pretty dreadful because Hamilton had a reliability problem. Grosjean half a tenth off of Hamilton, so Tornado not quite as quick as the FJR. Well, Tornado not quite as quick as Hamilton. Same cannot be said for Gutierrez. Who knows where he's qualified?
Here comes Kimi. Absolutely smashed it, hasn't he, this season so far?
Yes, 5 out of 6 pole positions. The other pole position going to his teammate at the Nürburgring. Let's see what he can do on this lap compared to the quickest, which at the moment is Lewis Hamilton. Just a quick review, and he's 200ths up at the moment. 0.018 to be exact, going around the Lowe's hairpin. Now they double portiers, ride the pavement on the right, don't cut too much of this corner, otherwise you'll be doing an Ayrton Senna.
Didn't he have an apartment just round the corner from there? He just went up to that and just didn't come out for a day or something like that.
Precisely.
Yeah. Don't blame him.
As a result, nobody really knows what actually happened.
Yeah. Did he clip the wall there?
The most likely explanation is that
That was in
clipped...
Kimi when he went through the swimming pool.
Oh.
It just seemed to jink very. It looks like he
Not
kind
sure.
of clipped it, but
He's lost time in the second sector. It's a very wide line through Rasgas. He's now 0.064 down. Needs a good final sector, and doubt this will get pole position with that line at Rasgas crossing the line. Just 100th off of Hamilton.
I think Hamilton took that line as well. I think that's the line they all take.
Nah.
Because there we are again. As I was watching him on board, I thought, oh, he's not going to make that, but he did.
I wonder if the modders have programs that to try and increase overtaking into that corner.
Maybe, yeah.
Bird crosses the line 1.2 seconds off and in 18th position. It just shows how close the grid is. If 1.2 seconds separates the top 18, less than a tenth covers the top 4, which consist of Hamilton, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Verne, Perez, Alonso, Button, so both Excelites are in the top 8, and completing the top 8 is Hulkenberg, 9th and 10th are Kubica and Rosberg. There's a look at the rest. There's Maldonado in 12th position, so that's not bad. I'm qualifying Vettel at the moment, interestingly.
Yeah. Looks like they are just doing the 1 out of 4 format, I'm guessing, or...
I think they'll have a certain number of laps, so can't quite see what time it is, but here's Vettel on a new lap, rounding the Massenet and Casino section. There's a crane on the left, crossing the first sector point. Just less than a tenth off of Hamilton, so let's see how this lap unfolds.
Well, he's got past the corner that Rosberg didn't get past in 2014.
Yes,
I was worried then.
it,
I was
yeah.
worried if... what is it with Germans and stopping on this circuit?
Yeah.
I was getting a bit concerned.
You know, one of my favourite coincidences is when Schumacher parked it at Rasgas, and then Raikkonen genuinely parked it at Rasgas the next season.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ah.
Similar thing happened when Piquet deliberately crashed out at Singapore.
Yeah.
Grosjean genuinely crashed at that same corner a year later.
It was very similar. I don't think he hit the wall quite, though, did he?
Grosjean hit the wall, yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
See what I mean about that very wide line there.
Yep.
Yeah, you might be right. They might have put it in to
Try and encourage overtaking.
promote some Charles Leclerc-esque dive bombs into that. That's a crap lap.
9th place, though, so it is an improvement.
Can't wait for his performance review.
It's better than Rosberg, though. 11th. For the other German.
Rosberg's not had a brilliant season.
Not really, no. He's had... Well, Grosjean's on a quick lap at the moment. Quicker than Hamilton. Rosberg, he's had 3rd in China, a 5th in Imola, and a 7th at the Nürburgring. His teammate has only had a 7th and an 8th. So it's just not... Oh, people on the track. What's going on there? And Grosjean crosses the line to go fastest. Just less than a 10th quicker than Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening there.
And Kubica's on a good lap. He's less than half a second off of Grosjean as they cross the second sector point onto the start-finish straight. Kubica goes 10th, 6/10 of a second off, but in the top 10.
Did you ever see that clip of Ayrton Senna where Marshall coming into the first corner
Yeah.
on the track? Senna didn't even slow down.
No.
It was yeah.
Al-Jasuari goes 13th.
A split second later, that Marshall would have been in trouble.
Oh, it's a very good lap from Alonso at the moment. He's just half a tenth off of Grosjean. If he gets a good final sector, he could move up to pole position. Doubt it, but let's see. 4th for Alonso. Good lap in the much improved Exolite. Raikkonen, this is a crucial lap, crossing the line. 3rd, a tenth off of Grosjean. So it's a Grosjean-Hamilton front row at the moment. Button's on a quick lap, 1/4 of a second off. Don't think he'll beat Alonso with this effort. He'll take some good final sector, but crossing the line, Button doesn't improve. Well done. And now here's Vettel, once again half a tenth off at the first sector.
It's going to have to be mighty if he wants to get any closer. He's been... Did his last lap even improve at all?
Yeah, it was he went up to 9th with his last lap. Goodness knows how many improvements have been since then. Your car doesn't appear to be a particularly good qualifier, but it is a very good racer.
Yeah. I think I might have got it figured out in terms of what to test to create good qualifying pace and good race pace, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I might just be completely wrong. I'm probably talking out my ass as well.
Well, I will say that Hamilton has focused more on this race rather than throughout the season.
Right, okay.
That I can reveal.
7th.
7th, 3/10 off of Grosjean. Here's Hamilton on a new lap.
It's certainly circuit you want to have this setup dialed in for qualifying, isn't it?
Yes, because overtaking is so difficult. 5/1000 of a second up at the first sector point. This is going to have to be a good lap if he wants to regain pole position off of the championship leader. Joint championship leader, but technically the championship leader because he's had 3 wins compared to Vettel's 2.
Excuse me. It's been a good season for Grosjean so far.
Very classic FF1M in the win or bust.
Yeah.
Remember Pedersen doing something similar in the 2001 season when they had Heidfeld on board. I think it was the first 12 races he either won or crashed.
I think I did that in my career mode on F1 2006 back in the day.
Yeah.
Like every race. Oh, I don't think it was a career mode. I think I just did a championship with Michael, and every race I either won or retired from.
It wasn't a good second sector from Hamilton. I don't think he'll improve on here. Nope. Remains a tenth off and still in the front row at the moment. Behind this man, Romain Grosjean.
Might be holding him up a little bit there, actually.
Or is that Gutierrez holding him up? Definitely looks like Gutierrez.
Wait, can you tell that by the speed?
I can tell by the speed, yes. Gutierrez is 16th at the moment, 1 place behind Maldonado.
It's not his fault, his eyebrows weigh him down.
Didn't stop Mansell.
Well, that's a good point. And he had the extra eyebrow underneath his nose.
Yeah. Well, if Grosjean is on a hot lap, he certainly wouldn't be improving there. Rosberg's on a quicker lap as he exits the final corner. Anthony Nogues was seen of a lot of accidents the previous season, and Rosberg goes 10th. So it's not that much of an improvement.
The Willows will probably be at a bit of a disadvantage as well because it's easier to overtake on the fact that it's a lot thinner than the other cars. I mean, when you see the onboard shot, you can tell it looks a lot thinner, that car.
Ricciardo's on a lap, 4/10 off of Grosjean. Let's see if he can improve as he exits the final corner. Start-finish straight, that's not straight. 11th. I think it's an improvement in time, but not in position. Now then, Kimi Raikkonen. This is an important lap if he's going to usurp Hamilton off of the front row into Tabak, which is a great corner in video games.
I think this is the only circuit that I am probably faster than you at on racing games. Monaco. I think that's the only circuit where I can comfortably say, yeah, I think I've got the edge on you, just about.
Yeah, I think you have the edge on me in slow corners and twisty stuff.
Right.
Raikkonen's on a good lap. He takes second. He's bumped Hamilton off the front row. Just less than half a tenth off of Grosjean.
Does that mean he's been on the front row every race this season?
I believe so. I think he was on the front row at the Nürburgring. And qualifying done, let's confirm the grid as Romain Grosjean takes pole position, his first of the season for Tornado.
First non-Gajira pole of the season, isn't it?
That could be Grosjean's first ever pole position in FF1M. But it is still a Gojira on the front row, with Raikkonen beating Hamilton at the last moment to take second. Alonso, great effort from him in fourth. Verne, solid enough in fifth position, and Perez in sixth position. So it's the Tornado Gojira number 2s on the third row. Vettel seventh, his race pace is usually better. Both X-Lights in the top 8. That's a good effort from them. And the two Bergs, which translates to mountain in German, Hulkenberg ahead of Rosberg. Not sure if there's another Berg in the field. Kubica slips down to 12th after not improving much on his first runs. Not a bad effort from Alguersuari up in 13th. And Gutierrez beat Maldonado in the end.
Yeah. No comment.
Not a great session for Horizon, down in 17th and 20th, with Suttil getting the measure over Bird. And it's an all Pedersen back row. So here we go in this new and improved 90-lap race. 2 or 3 stops expected. Here come the lights. 5 lights go on. That's a bit of a long pause. There's some flash photography. 5 lights go out, and it's a good start from Raikkonen. He's got up alongside Grosjean going into Sandivort. Round the outside into the lead. Fantastic stuff. And
Alonso's got him with it as well, I think.
Yes, Alonso is making a move. He's second. So the left-hand side of the grid making much better starts than those on the right. Perez is up to 4th as well. So, again, the left-hand side of the grid. Interesting. So, Raikkonen, well, he's got 32 laps of fuel on board. We'll see how that pans out and what strategy he's on. That could be a 2-stop. As he rounds Portier, it looks like everyone's got through the first few corners safely.
Yep, no argy-bargy this time.
Not yet.
Not yet, good point.
Here comes the first hot spot, the chicane. And we're just going through the field. Rosberg, Kubica, Bottas, Maldonado has tagged the back of Bottas. I think he's got away with it without any damage. That's lucky.
Thankfully we make our front wings out of steel.
Yorkshire team, I suppose. A shame I can't make my cars out of that.
Yeah.
All I've got is aluminium. So the end of lap 1 is Kimi Raikkonen, but it is Alonso who sets the fastest lap at the moment, as he's in second position. Only 6/10 behind, and then a further 6/10 back is Romain Grosjean in third position, the pole sitter. Perez is in 4th, Hamilton 5th, Vergne 6th, so he's dropped a position. Vettel remains in 7th, and Jenson Button remains in 8th. I think Pedersen got ahead of Sam Bird at the start. I think it was Kobayashi.
For a second then I thought Kimi was going slow. No, it just the nature of this track, I suppose.
Seems okay at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that his car's been pretty chronically unreliable this season.
Yes, it was a retirement in Malaysia and then a retirement in Imola, but he's had 2 second places in a row, so it's not all bad.
Mm-hmm.
Perez has had 2 retirements as well. That was in China and Malaysia. Or as Martin Brundle called, Malaysia.
Does he?
Yeah.
Do you know, I really like the Malaysian circuit.
Yes.
I think I appreciate it a lot more now that it's gone.
Yeah.
I always quite liked it, but now that we don't go, I think,
I really did like it.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't know how much you like something until it disappears.
Yeah. I mean, can't we go to there instead of China? Because, like, the circuit is very similar. Like, the first 8 corners are
Yeah,
sort
they
of equivalent.
both produce solid racing.
Yeah. Well, I'd say Malaysia produces better racing than China because of the weather.
Yeah, I mean, I think they both produce some decent racing over the years. This season in FF1M we had both.
Yep. I can't really remember what happened in China.
Well, you won.
In China?
Yeah, you won the FF1M race in China.
Did I?
Yeah, it started off
Oh,
wet.
it was wet. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I started on the slicks, didn't I? And I saw that and I thought...
No, you started on intermediates and they were the better tyre to start on.
And I thought, oh, here we are. I've screwed that one up, actually.
But in fact, 2/3 of the grid screwed themselves over. Perez holding up the field a little bit. I think Hamilton is trying to put some pressure on him, but not quite yet.
Imagine if the real F1 had commentators as dopey as me who couldn't remember when they last won a race.
Speaking of F1 commentators, Clive James has passed away. So he was the guy who reviewed some of the F1 season reviews big F1 fan and great sense of humour. He'll be missed.
We'll see the one where I can't remember which review it was like the 82 one or something like that. He goes, where they're in Brazil and they say we took the cameras to the beach to test them out, and he just shows a lot of topless women.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a small boy, and here's a big girl. Somehow can't imagine Ben Edwards saying anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think you'd get away with that these days.
Nah, they've got rid of grid girls, so they definitely wouldn't get away with it now.
Yeah, that grid girls one, that really. Anyway, I won't get political on it. I won't. Well, I will pass my opinion.
Oh, Kubica slowing down. That was a mechanical problem followed by a petulant smash into the barriers.
Yeah, got angry there. He just thought, oh, Courtney's going to start talking about grid girls. And he decided, I'm going to just take one for the team here. I think I'll take that as a cue to not... I will talk about it, but not on the...
Not live.
Not live. Not whilst I'm commentating.
Yeah, it's confirmed as a gearbox failure. Well, transmission, but transmission can mean gearbox or drive shaft. I like to call it gearbox. Track clear now, and field hasn't really changed in the first 11 laps, as Kimi Raikkonen starts his 12th, 7/10 ahead of Fernando Alonso, who's keeping up with him. But if the Gajera is a better car, then I'm expecting Alonso to be 3-stopping. Rosberg looks as if he's 3-stopping, and at the moment it's not working. He's stopped.
He's 1-stopping now, and
that stoppage is at the Lowe's hairpin, so he's suffering from, as you said, bad reliability for Willows, I think. He might have said, he said bad reliability for someone. It was Gajera.
Gajera, yeah.
Willows' reliability has not exactly been great either. 2 retirements for Rosberg and 3 for Ricciardo.
Speaking of reliability, here's Hamilton.
And that is the obligatory reliability problem for Lewis Hamilton.
Right, there we are. Is it a terminal one, I wonder, or is it on his steering wheel?
It's on his steering wheel, so it's a gremlin rather than a terminal problem.
One they can fix in 2.5 seconds, or however it likes to. Are they there for the stop?
Yeah.
Although they're wearing their invisibility cloaks, and the Lollipop Man's...
He's got no legs.
He was stood very high there. He was stood on an invisible platform. These
odd.
very strange Monaco technologies that your guys bring to these races.
Yeah. The good news is that Hamilton looked as if he was 3-stopping anyway, so it'll have brought him in a bit earlier, his first stop a bit ahead of schedule, but still reliability problems. I'm getting pissed off with it as he rejoins ahead of Gutierrez. So now Hamilton can put in some laps because he looks like he's got clear track, so he can edge away on his new tyres. Is
the undercut or overcut better? Is it the new tyres are better?
The new tyres generally are a better option than low fuel.
Yeah.
Not quite the case at Hockenheim or Monza, because the time loss of carrying fuel is less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or the advantage is lessened by the fact that there's loads of long straights.
It was good for you that Hamilton came out ahead of Gutierrez.
Yes. So Hamilton can still rescue something out of this. Alonso is due in the pits this lap. Oh, Kimi's slowing! Raikkonen's slowing down! So, Kimi Raikkonen's 2-stop strategy is all for naught as he pulls off in a very precarious place. You don't want to pull off there in a hurry. That's a tunnel. So, Alonso leads, but he is due in the pits, so he's not actually going to lead a lap. Interesting. So, ultimately, it'll be Roman Grosjean who takes the lead.
Alonso's net lead, though.
Depends if Grosjean is 2-stopping or 3-stopping.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I suspect if Grosjean has been able to keep up just about with Alonso, losing just a couple of tenths a lap, I suspect... No, Grosjean is in the pits as well, so Alonso is in the net lead, depending on if any drivers behind are 2-stopping, so that scuppers my theory, which I hadn't been able to finish. 7.4 seconds for Grosjean, 6.1 for Alonso. Good stop from the Exolite boys.
Does that mean he short-fueled him?
Just a better stop by the looks of it. 29 laps on board Alonso. Don't know how many laps is on board Grosjean. Imagine similar. But it's Perez who now leads the race. 1.1 seconds the gap over Jean-Eric Vergne. Sebastian Vettel in 3rd position. and Alonso's teammate in 4th. Meanwhile, Ricciardo is 7th, and completing the point scorers is Nico Hülkenberg, as Robin Freins comes into the pits from a fair bit down the order. Not expecting him to challenge for points unless there's utter carnage.
Well, there's a long way to go yet.
Yeah, there's still
Nearly a full race distance in terms of normal Monaco.
68 laps to go. So a normal Monaco, we'd be 10 laps in.
Yep. We've already lost Kimi, we've lost...
Rosberg, lost Kubica.
Yep.
So at this rate, 20 laps or so.
Who was that? Vettel in the pits?
Well, Perez is in the
I
pits.
thought I saw one of my guys in the pits. I might have been wrong there.
I think it was Perez. They're similarly coloured, the Gajera and the Shake and Bake. So Perez looks as if he's 3-stopping as well. Doesn't say much about his race pace if he was holding up those cars behind him.
Yeah.
Maldonado is in the pits, so one of your guys is in the pits.
Yeah. I wonder if... I wonder what Vern's doing.
Well, he's leading the race at the moment.
Yeah.
Button's in the pits, so it's 3 stops for him. As Perez has rejoined right behind Hülkenberg. That's not working out as well for him. Not working out well for the Gajeras. But Grosjean is the fastest one on track, as he and Alonso catch up to Jean-Eric Verne, who is currently leading the race.
Vettel's either in the pits or crashed.
I suspect in the pits. Verne looks as if he's one of the 2-stoppers. No sign of him coming into the pits just yet. Kobayashi into the pits. Hülkenberg, he's 2-stopping because he's still got 16 laps of fuel on board. And at the moment Perez is quite a bit quicker. They're being held up by Ricciardo at the moment, who I suspect is 2-stopping.
Do you know what? If Verne is 2-stopping, he's looking good.
He's looking quite good, yeah. Especially if the undercut is the better option.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this one pans out. Or just how difficult it is to overtake in GP4 Monaco with these cars.
Both Mitchells in the points, so it's not looking a bad race for them at the moment. There's Vettel in 9th, and he has stopped, because he's now got 26 laps of fuel on board. There's Hamilton just behind him, so Hamilton has rescued it somewhat, and shunting Bottas out of the way, and Hamilton follows through. Button does not follow through. So that has worked out quite well for both of our guys.
Well, I think, as you see from the replay, this was a perfectly executed fail. Oh, this isn't a replay.
This is on... Oh, it just let him through.
That was a bit polite.
Yeah.
Maybe you felt bad about the last one.
And Hamilton, he's got Bottas alongside. Oh, he's just held on to that one. That was close. Now Bottas has got... What's his face behind him? Button. Suarez crashed. That's at the Portier.
Missing a wheel by the look of it.
Yeah, he's definitely whacked the barrier. That's a shame for him. If he was 2-stopping, that was looking quite good for him.
Yeah, he's, Mika Hakkinen did it. Oh, Schumacher did it as well.
Irvine and Sarlode as well. Yeah. That's one of my favourite crashes that's ever happened, that. Just Irvine coming round and...
On-board camera at the time as well, wasn't it?
It was on board Sarlo, and then all of a sudden you see... and then Hakkinen just shoving the marshal out of the way in rage. So, looks like, he just went off on the marbles.
And he's lost his as well.
And once again, Vettel and Hamilton getting through a lot cleaner than Bottas and Button did.
Yeah, well, I think there's something to be said there about Bottas being a little bit more clinical than Hamilton.
In fact, Bottas shunted Suarez out of the way. Like, get out, you're in my way. And Gutierrez is out. That's one of my boys. Clearly suffering from unreliability, which is usual.
He's run out of transmission.
Yep. And Verne is due in the pits this lap, so he's managed to hold on to the lead so far from Alonso and Grosjean, but they have caught up to him. So I probably would give the ballpark to Alonso and Grosjean. Depends what Verne can do on this new set of tyres. But of course, Alonso and Grosjean will have another 3 sets of tyres to play with. Oh, another 2 steps. Another 2 stops.
Right,
something like
Verne.
that.
So
another 2 sets of tyres to play with, that's it.
Yeah.
As does Vern, but 2 stopping.
The hamster in the ball, which is inside my head where a brain and a normal person would be, is running very fast to try and figure out exactly what's going to go down in this race now.
6.2 seconds stop, that's pretty quick.
38 laps worth of fuel.
38 laps. I mean, they don't run it all the way down to the tank, so that's probably about 30 laps of fuel. So that's pretty much 1/3, 2/3. Nice even split of 30 laps.
I wonder if the reason that they don't run it completely dry is because they do what the 2005 BARs did.
It's funny you say that. I've been watching a bunch of 2005 qualifying sessions because it was the last to run under that single lap system.
Yeah. I didn't mind it.
I quite liked it, yeah. I mean, it threw up some weird grids, but mostly because of the fact you had to carry race fuel, which is a bit silly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I suppose it meant added more strategy to it, I suppose.
Yeah. But one thing I will say about that 2005 season, Trulli was a mighty one-lap qualifier.
He always was, wasn't he? He was
Yeah.
really good in qualifying, but and really good at the start as well. And then just
I don't know, it's just weird race pace.
Yeah.
Erratic at best.
the Trulli train they used to call it, didn't they? Everyone gets stuck behind Trulli during the race. Or it might just be because he was such a good qualifier.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Being able to extract a good lap out of the bag.
Yeah.
Who are we looking at here? We're looking at, this is Alonso trying to make his way through traffic. He's a bit stuck behind the horizon at the moment. Let's see what he can do to try and get ahead, but trying to get the inside wouldn't do it there.
Well, this is playing into the hands of Vern.
Definitely, yeah. Because Vern might encounter the same traffic in about 10 laps or so. Let's see how much he closes up on this lap. It was 17 seconds, the gap between himself and Alonso.
Oh, that's brave.
They let him through there, did the horizon, so it's not bad driving from him. Best part of 2 seconds a lap, Vern took out of Alonso. At one point, Grosjean was just half a second behind, but now he's going to be held up by what looks like Suttil, but it could be Bird. Hard to tell between the two helmets.
And it's taken them ages to clear these back markers. It's going to be really important, I think, back markers in this race.
Yeah.
There's not been too many kamikaze moments from any of the drivers, though.
Not yet. Grosjean goes through the barrier to overtake him.
Yep, utilising that.
So it appears I've passed that technology over.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a Spygate scandal going on there.
Yeah. We love a bit of espionage. Now Alonso's going to try and deal with the Andrew F1. I think it's Robin Frines.
Cubits T-boned the wall in frustration, didn't he, earlier?
Correct, yes. So it's definitely Frines. Frines at the moment's in a battle with that Pedersen in front. He got a good run out of that corner.
Oh.
Wow, that was hairy.
Yep.
Whew. He's made it. Then taking another 1.7 seconds out of the lead.
Yep, that overtake was hairier than a ball of chewing gum dropped on the barber's floor.
Spiffing. Now they're going to try and lap Kamui Kobayashi in the brown Pedersen. Brawn. Brown. However you say that sponsor. Brawn.
Bran.
I think it's German, so it's probably brown.
Bran! That's my best German accent.
Going into the chicane, is Alonso going to morph through the barrier? Yes, he is. Nice to know that things haven't changed.
Yep.
Well,
what was once a revolutionary technology is now just
ubiquitous.
Yeah, it's just played with amongst the paddock. Right, how long is it going to take Grosjean to get through this little army?
Well, Grosjean hasn't yet cleared Frines, so he's losing a lot of time at the moment. This is Alonso's opportunity to make a break. And he's using it very well. He's opened up the gap from 1 second to 2 seconds. He's doubled his lead. Meanwhile, looking at some of the rest of the field, Vern is still third, and again using the outside line this time.
Seems like that's the only place where they only really overtake.
We're expecting a lot more retirements,
Yeah.
so it's quite interesting. Into the mirror bar.
Ooh.
He's got through there. Can Frines take advantage of that? Not quite. Meanwhile, Verne is in third. Perez is in fourth, but he has got Vettel all over his gearbox. Hamilton has just made his second pit stop. A little bit earlier than expected because of the rescheduled first, but he wasn't doing too badly. He was back up to sixth.
Yeah, good recovery from Blessed Boy.
But he's rejoined behind Vettel's teammate, who's in eighth. That's not been a bad drive from him.
Might be up for his first points, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
I'm not going to hold my breath on Hamilton getting more points either.
You never know.
Never know. Now then, Grosjean's closed the gap back up. They've cleared this traffic. It's now down to 1.3 seconds. He's due in the pits this lap. Is Alonso due in the pits this lap as well? I'm sort of expecting him to be. If we could get a look at Alonso's graphic to see how much fuel he's got on board. If Grosjean is stopping earlier, then this could benefit his race quite a bit. And they've pulled away from Verne. I think Verne's now in that traffic jam.
Yep.
Because the gap is now 18.5 seconds. Perez has got Vettel and Button now all over him. Button in the other Exolite in sixth position.
I think it's becoming a three-horse race.
Between Alonso, Grosjean and Verne. Nice to see Alonso win.
Well, I'm torn. Because normally I would want Alonso to win, but Whiteley's not turned up, so now I'm like, don't want it to win now.
Yeah. If he wins, that would be their first victory since... And Alonso continues as Grosjean pits. Now this could benefit him quite a lot. Just depends where he rejoins in relation to traffic.
Yeah, can he use the undercut, or will he come out chock-a-block back in that gang of backmarkers?
7 seconds, so it's not the fastest stop in the world. I don't think he'll rejoin ahead of Verne. But he exits the pits nonetheless. There's Verne, who himself is stuck behind... Still stuck behind Senna, actually. Or Kobayashi, definitely one of the Pedersens. So it's not worked out as well for Grosjean as expected. Now Alonso needs a good in-lap if he's to rejoin ahead of them. And he's due in the pits this lap, so this is the important stop. Or the second most important stop of the race for him. I was just going to say, Alonso, if he wins this, will be Exolite's first win since the 1995 Brazilian Grand Prix, back when it was known as the Masters era, when he could team up Lewis Hamilton with Alain Prost.
Now that's a scary team.
Yes. Into the pits comes Alonso.
If you could have any team from any era, that'd be a tricky one, wouldn't it? Has he missed his pit box? Oh no, yeah. Forgot about the uncoordinated mechanics.
Taking on one lap less fuel, it's a slower stop, 0.6 of a second. Has Grosjean done enough to get ahead of him? I'd be surprised if he does. There goes one of the tornadoes. But was that Verne or was that Grosjean? That was Verne, so Alonso's still ahead of Grosjean. That's worked out very well for him. Now then, Alonso, all he needs to do now is to overtake Verne. That's going to be a challenge. And the reason why Alonso has maintained that gap was because Grosjean got stuck behind Kobayashi.
Yeah. Well, there's another round of stops to go. So one more chance.
Maldonado just made his pit stop because Hamilton is now back up to 8th position. Who we're looking at here? This is Perez, yes.
With the Button right off his derriere.
Yes, this has been a poor in-lap for
Button's
Perez.
got past Vettel.
Vettel, I think, must have made a pit stop or something. And they're both in the pits. Pit stop race.
Yeah.
Between Gojira and Exolite.
Well, fingers crossed, Vettel might be able to jump the pair of them. I was right, I should be unbiased, shouldn't I?
You can be as biased as you like because you're the co-commentator.
Yeah.
8.2 seconds for Perez. With Button so far down the pit lane, can he do anything about it? Not quite. I was kind of half expecting Exolite to short fill him.
Where is Sebi boy?
This is a very good question. So, he Oh, he's ahead of them. He's a long way ahead of them, in fact.
Crikey, yeah.
So he's up to 4th position.
Long way to catch them up, though. I don't see it happening, to be honest.
I think Vettel's got a solid 4th underneath him.
Yeah.
Alonso's now caught up to Verne, so Verne is now playing tactics in terms of trying to hold up Alonso.
If you three could take each other out, that would be fantastic.
I have a feeling that Alonso and Grosjean might well be fueled to the same lap, because Alonso did take a lap less fuel than Grosjean did during his pit stop.
Right, okay.
So the advantage now lies with Alonso if he can get past Verne.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be very difficult for him to do so, because that Ferrari engine is a very powerful engine. Well, they're both Ferrari engines that they're running.
Yeah.
In fact, Ferraris are occupying the top 4 positions. 6 out of the top 8. Ricciardo's Mercedes-engined Willows is in 5th, and Hamilton's Mugen engine is in 8th. Somebody has gone off somewhere in the tunnel. So somebody has pulled off, I imagine.
Not the best place to pull off in a tunnel.
Sort of similar to Kimi Raikkonen earlier
Yeah.
in the race. So I wonder what's happened. We'll find out shortly.
Tell you what, Grosjean needs to get up behind Fernando.
And it's confirmed as Bruno Senna having retired with an oil leak.
Cause it seems like Grosjean is... He's kind of doing what Webber did in Abu Dhabi 2010, where it's just like he needed to be just right up in there to jump on any opportunity, but he's just not.
Yeah, it seemed more difficult to follow at Monaco this season compared to this season before, unless you got a massive tyre advantage.
Yeah.
In 2 or 3 stops, there's not really much of a tyre advantage. We'll see what happens over the next 18 laps, well, 10 laps or so, because Verne will be due in the pits at around lap 60. So Alonso just needs to keep calm here.
Well, if he gets past him, that obviously becomes advantage Alonso. I'd say Alonso really does need to get past him, actually.
Yes, I agree.
Otherwise,
Grosjean could be up him.
yeah, but also...
Verne's undercut.
Yeah, and he'd have to make up all that time and then pass him on track as well.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he does pass him, Verne will be pitting soon. You might get...
Oh, Perez and Ricciardo. Snuck it. And Ricciardo stopped at the chicane.
That was un-Ricciardo-like.
What on earth was that about?
He just gave up. He rage quitted. Well, that's Button sneaking through, is it?
Sort of, but not quite. That really did cost... In fact, I think Button recognised that and was a bit too polite.
Yeah.
Because Ricciardo's back ahead of him.
Well, Button hasn't been very polite this season. He's been quite brutal.
Yeah, he's been very aggressive.
Very unbuttonish.
Yeah.
Very unbuttoned.
And you can see where the drivers are making 2 or 3 stops. And the strategy seems to have benefited Bottas, because he's gone from 14th up to 10th, so that's not a bad going for him. Hulkenberg, where did he start? 9th. So he's not really made any progressions from his slot. And there's the list of retirements so far. A lot less than I thought it'd be.
Yep.
Everyone's behaved themselves.
Well, last season was just mental.
There's both tornadoes going out on the same lap as each other, handing the lead to Rosberg, who at that point was a minute behind Hamilton when he crashed. And then Rosberg crashed, handing the lead over to Senna.
Did he ever actually get to the lead?
Rosberg,
yeah.
Yeah, he led for about 15 or so laps.
Oh, okay.
Alonso's a lot closer now behind Verne. So can he stay close, coming through the twisty second sector, and get a run on him going into the chicane? Meanwhile, I'm keeping the eye on the gap between Verne and Vettel. It's not really coming down a lot, but it's coming down. So I still expect Verne would jump Vettel in the pit stops.
Yeah. What would be the pit stop loss, I wonder?
Pit stop loss usually is about 20 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, Vettel needs to really hurry it up, to be honest. I don't think he's got it in him.
Well, the interesting thing now is that these top three are now stuck behind Paul Di Resta, who is also on that two-stop strategy. And there's contact! Alonso made contact with Verne at the Rasgas, and he's taken the lead.
Did Grosjean get through?
No, he didn't. Now that could hand the race to Alonso if he legs it.
Another perfect clean overtaking manoeuvre there. Yep.
Just a friendly nudge. So Verne got caught out a little bit behind Di Resta, and then Alonso on a slightly tighter line. Probably didn't recognise that enough.
Yeah.
Vettel gained a lot of time on that lap. It was about 4 seconds. Suppose they were stuck behind that JRM.
Both Vettel and Alonso have to make another stop, don't they?
All of this lot have to make another stop. But it is interesting. Meanwhile, Perez is being caught up once again by Button, who, now that he's free of Ricciardo's clutches, as the JRM lets Alonso through, Button's now closing back up to Perez.
Is Alonso going to come in there or something? No.
Nope, it's all good. Now then, these two tornadoes have got to make their way past the GRM. If I was...
there we are. Didn't need to make the call.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that.
That seems to be the move of the day. I thought it crashed then for a sec.
Now then, 2.5 seconds. That's set Grosjean free. Needs to close that back up to Alonso if he's to stand any chance of victory.
He's got a GRM to pass as well, though, and
he'll lose a bit of time.
Spot. This is another place to overtake, I think, as well.
Verne during the pits is like, look at the understeer on that.
Yeah. Like driving a tank. Right.
It's like driving a 2005 Renault.
So, I wonder...
Bit slow getting the left front off.
I wonder if he'll come out ahead of Vettel.
That's a slow stop, that. Well, let's see. You've gone a bit longer than I expected. About 64 laps into the race.
Depends how far Alonso and co got ahead, though.
There's a few black cars going past. I think that's Perez and Button, yeah. Verne's lost a lot of time in that.
That's shafted him as that.
Yeah, it's really cost him. Slow stop. And once Grosjean got ahead, once Alonso and Grosjean got ahead, then just struggled on those old tyres.
Yep.
But now that he's on the new tyres, he can do something about this lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Val might have an outside chance of a podium if these guys all hold each other up.
Yeah, it's Perez that's holding everybody up at the moment. Because there's Perez, there's Button, there's Verne.
Vettel ahead of Perez, though?
Vettel's ahead of Perez, yeah.
But as in, is he the next car ahead?
Yes, but now that Perez is just holding everybody up.
No, sorry, I meant the back marker, the Frines. I was wondering if that was...
Was it a green?
Vettel.
Was it a green car? If it was, it's Frines, yeah. Is Verne going to do the shunt and pass into Rasgas on Jenson Button?
Here we go.
Not quite close enough. Very, very common move in NASCAR. And for some reason they allow it.
Well, yeah, I mean, NASCAR is very different, isn't it? Have you seen that South Park episode?
I haven't, no.
Cartman joins NASCAR. I'm not saying it's true, but for anyone who does get the reference, you know what I mean.
Well, does he drop kick through the windscreen as well?
No. He gets into NASCAR and just tries to make himself as dumb as possible, and then in the hopes that it'll make him better.
Yeah. Right, I think Hamilton has made his pit stop because he's now about to be lapped by Alonso. And the pit stop didn't really work out well for Hamilton because he's stuck behind the Mitchell of Hulkenberg. That would be Maldonado.
Yep. Maldonado in the points.
Yes, nearly a lap down on Alonso. And Sutter's made his way up to 8th position. That's an impressive effort. Very quietly getting on with it and somehow up there.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. And they're both,
Pit stop race.
Right, they're both in.
Yeah.
Well, that's advantage Fernando.
Yes. Now then, can Tornado do an absolutely stupendous stop to get them ahead of the Exolite of Alonso? It's 7.1.
Don't think it's going to be enough.
Keep it calm for Exolite. Oh, fantastic stop. 5.7 seconds.
Absolutely slam danked it.
And he'll rejoin still in the lead, will Alonso? Yep, Alonso still in the lead.
All right. That's. I don't think there's anything that can stop him now. Don't think there's any way Alonso doesn't win this race. There's not even God himself could stop Fernando and Exolite from winning this race.
I see what you're doing. Button made his final pit stop, as has Maldonado.
Was this Pasta we're looking at here? Or?
We're looking at Vettel, I believe.
Ah, right. Oh, yeah, he's trying to lap Pasta. Right, let's not do anything stupid.
I think it's a Horizon in front.
Is it? Ah, I thought... No, it is Pasta.
Oh, it's Pasta, yeah. All these lightly coloured cars. Button made his final pit stop and has jumped Perez. Now, this is the important one. Can Vettel... Well, will he rejoin somewhere around Verne? If he does, then he's got a good chance of catching up to him.
Yeah.
Because he was a long way ahead of Perez and Button. Because Vettel was going round the Mirabeau when Perez came into the pits.
And there he comes. I was going to say it didn't look like he had much pace left, really. He wasn't right on the gearbox of Maldonado.
And I suppose Verne had cleared that traffic as well.
Yeah.
So he'll have been able to use his new tyres.
Not a bad stop.
6.5, that's not bad. Nothing like Alonso, though. 5.7.
Yeah.
So he comes out of the pits. Well, he's got some nice clear track. Oh, Verne's back in the pits.
Oh!
Now then, that is a reliability problem.
Oh, he just clobbered the wall. No.
It is a reliability problem.
Yeah.
Just arose as he came around Rasgas. So, never mind.
Yeah.
Vettel's on the podium position.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Now, where's Verne going to rejoin? He's rejoined 5th. Just saw Button coming through. Yeah, so 5th position now. Both X-Lights now in the top 4.
Perez has really fallen away.
Yeah, it's not been great for him. Now then, what's going on here?
Just 3 laps left.
Alonso
Three
must have
laps
been.
left.
He must have been in more traffic. He was lapping one of the Willows. That would have been Ricciardo, because Rosberg is out of the race, of course.
Oh, surely something can't happen with only 3 laps left.
3 laps left after this one. Meanwhile, there's a battle for 7th position going on between Hülkenberg and Hamilton. Verne's catching up to Button as well, so the battle for 4th is not quite over yet. 3 laps to go. And 2.6 seconds is now the gap between Alonso and Grosjean. Alonso has got the Horizon in front of him. Vettel just 11 seconds behind Alonso, so that's been a very good drive from him, from 7th on the grid. Just been patient and letting the race come to him.
I mean, he's not far behind, actually.
No, and if...
Too little too late now, but yeah.
Yeah, solid once again from Sebastian.
I like this new Sebastian. I mean, the race isn't over yet. He may well park into the wall, but he's been a bit less calamity prone this season so far.
Less overdriving the car, hasn't needed to.
Yeah. Been more like a 2013 Vettel and less like 2014 Vettel or 2019 Vettel.
2019 Vettel. Yeah, the thing with Vettel is he's a childish person.
Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, childish can be both good and bad. A bad characteristic.
I don't know. In terms of his personality, I think he seems like a nice guy out of the car. I think in the car, you're right, he might get a bit prattish.
Yeah. Now then, Alonso is now being held up by this Horizon, who now moves out of the way. That's an important one for the Exolite, as he rounds Massenet. If the Horizon jumps out of the way, then we might have a last lap battle, but they've been a bit reluctant to move out of the way.
I think this is the AJTs right now. I think he's...
So now it's advantage back to Alonso.
I think, yeah. Alonso's driven pretty well this race.
From 4th on the grid, great start to move up to 2nd, following Raikkonen round the outside at Saint-Devote. And then once Kimi blew up, Alonso's just controlled it.
When was the last time Alonso won a race in FF1M?
Last season with Willows.
Oh yeah, he was with Willows, wasn't he?
It's more of a landmark victory for X-Lite more than
Yep.
Alonso. Alonso is a champion. He last won it in 2011. Can't remember who that was with. I think it was with Tornado. The season before that, he won that with Tornado as well. He knows how to win championships. In the Masters era, when you could pit, I'm just trying to think, Ayrton Senna with another quick bloke.
Schumacher.
Senna and Alonso.
Yeah.
Alonso was
that
actually...
team would rip itself apart.
Yeah. Two hot-headed Latinos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alonso was the most successful driver in the Masters era. I think he had 3 championships. And a lot of wins. So he's always been good in the virtual world.
Only a couple of corners left now.
Half a lap to go.
Surely he can't blow up now. Surely he can't blow up now.
Surely
Or crash.
He's made it through that chicane fine. There's only one more hot spot to go, which is the Anthony Noakes corner.
Alonso was quite crash prone last year, wasn't he, actually, as well?
Yeah, he went off when challenging Ricciardo for second position at Silverstone.
Yeah.
That was quite an interesting moment.
There was a white flag there being waved by one of the marshals. Not sure what that was about.
Overzealous marshal, but he's rounded the final corner, and for the first time in 18 seasons, X-Lite win a race, and courtesy of Fernando Alonso.
Yep. Bet you wish you turned up now, Whiteley.
Yes. But we got another new winner, and it is Alonso. Grosjean second, Vettel once again taking a podium position. Well, it wasn't on the podium last time out, but just bagging up the points. Not been a bad season, and Button fourth, so some very, very good points for the X-Lite team. Then fifth after his late reliability issue. Perez sixth, just faded as the race went on. Hulkenberg not a bad seventh, using a 2-stop strategy for that. And Hamilton gets a point.
Yep.
Well done.
Well, good recovery drive.
Yeah, considering he had to pit early. It was Grosjean who had the fastest lap of the race on a 1:14.0.
And what does that make the championship look like? I think
Grosjean will be leading the championship by 2 points from Sebastian Vettel.
Fernando's still a bit down, isn't he? Is he?
He's made a decent inroad, but he'll have moved up past Hulkenberg and Perez, so I reckon he'll be fifth in the championship.
Hulkenberg really has been quietly accumulating points.
Crafty Germans, they seem to be the way forward.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a real life equivalent. Somebody like, I mean, maybe Rubens. Rubens in his early days.
The 1999 Heinz-Harald Frentzen.
Yeah, that's another good one.
And yep, 2 points is the gap.
Oh, Kubica in 2008.
Oh yeah, of that both BMWs.
Yeah.
That was a solid pairing.
Yep, great move to abandon the development of the car.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry, as you were saying?
2 points is the gap between Grosjean and Vettel, 44 to 42. Raikkonen's still third, but the retirement will not have helped him.
Yeah.
Or the Gajieras, who
He's lost so many points this season.
Yep, slipping further back from Tornado, who hold a comfortable lead in the Constructors' Championship. Shake and Bake and X-Lite tied on 42 points each.
You mean Shake and Bake? You mean Vettel and X-Lite?
Correct, yes. Yeah, Vettel and X-Lite. Mitchell hold fifth, quite solidly. Andrew F1 sixth, Willows, and then FJR, lagging behind. So that was a fairly interesting race. Next up, we'll be going to another fairly interesting race, a different kind of street circuit.
Canada.
Canada, indeed. A lot quicker than its Frenchish counterpart.
Yeah, sort of. It's surrounded by France, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially France.
And Canada
I mean,
has...
that marshal was waving a white flag.